while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Hey guys and girls, welcome back to YYC Designz RC Creationz. I'm Twist, for those of you who don't know me, and it's quite likely maybe some of you don't. It has been a while since I have produced a video. I'm about to explain the reason for that, however, and apologize, or rather I should just say hopefully apologies are accepted, because I apologize if I have let any of you down. If I did, that was not my intention, so don't feel slighted. Matty and I have just gone through some rough crap. I'll give you an update on Matty here later. This little section, and the reason why the channel is called, or the video is called Reboot, is because my life has kind of gone on a reboot after losing my Tams. And for those of you who don't know, I lost my wife Tams of 22 years almost 3 months ago. It'll be 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years next month is what I meant to say. And I have yet to completely be able to deal with that in a healthy manner. And mental health is what I wish to discuss briefly. But I will almost guarantee you that 60% of you out there in North America have a person or persons in your family who, like me, suffers PTSD and depression. And depression is not something that any of us can control. It's, I don't know if you call it an illness per se, but it causes lots of illness. And the biggest thing is for me, at least, with the PTSD, is having somebody to talk to. Now, there's lots of people I could talk to. The problem is trust. And while you may not think that's a big deal, because, oh, well, you lost your wife, I mean, you can talk about that. Where's the trust? Well, the trust is I have to feel secure enough, because of the PTSD I suffer, I have to feel secure enough in the knowledge that you're not going to use that against me and attack me with it somehow. Don't ask me how. That doesn't compute. You know, you can't expect a person with depression or PTSD to think rationally 100% of the time. We don't, and that's the problem. And that's where the trust comes in. We tend to have trust issues because we've lost the one person in our world that we trusted with our lives, and our soulmates, who we told our deepest, darkest secrets to. That person's now gone, and you don't just replace that with anybody. And you really do need someone you trust to be able to talk to. And you may want to help your family member or whoever it is desperately. And I understand that. There's people that desperately want to help me. The problem is I don't know how to let them, and they don't know how to begin. Number one, because they have no common basis on which to relate to me. They didn't lose a spouse, or they haven't fought in wars, they haven't killed people, they haven't been shot at and all the nastiness that goes along with war, which I won't get into. And since they have no concept of these things, then how the hell are they going to talk to us about it? Because I just look at you like, well, as nice a person as you are, please don't be offended, but what the hell do you know about what I'm going through? So, long story short, I moved away from Calgary because I hated the city. It had gotten way too big for me. I like small places, like Midway. Midway is a lot like going back to Mayberry RFD. It really is. It's a throwback to the 50s and 60s. It's a beautiful little town with beautiful people whom have all pretty much welcomed me with open arms and accepted me just as I am. And they're fantastic folks. Salt of the earth and, you know, just good, deeply honest people. And I got lucky. The other thing is, it's puppy heaven here. Matty loves her yard. She adores her yard. She adores the surroundings. We go hiking whenever we want. We go four-wheeling, rock crawling, and she gets to run along with the truck and snoop and all day long if she wants to. There's just space for her here, and she can snoop and just be a happy dog. And she is a very happy girl. She's almost 3, by the way. She will turn 3 on November 4th. And last March, she actually was bitten by a rattlesnake and poisoned, and it destroyed her immune system. And she has been on and off of prednisone now since March. The first time we weaned her off of prednisone, it almost killed her a few days later. The second time when we weaned her off of prednisone, we took twice as long to do it, which was months. And she lasted 3.5 weeks. I woke up at 6 a.m. in the morning because I have old man's disease and I go to the washroom about 3 times a night. And we woke up to her, or I woke up to her basically at death's door with a literal 3-foot across pool of blood coming from her nose, and I had to give her artificial respiration. And so anyway, I combated that with frozen peas across her snout to stop the nose bleeding. I basically blew out her nose and cleaned up her nose so that I could get air into her by closing her mouth and breathing into her nose, getting oxygen into her that way. And it took me 3 days to basically get her back to where she could even walk on her own. She lost the use of her back legs for a day and a half. All kinds of problems. And so now she's on a very small dose of prednisone every day, but she's on prednisone every day. And until the vet can guarantee me that there's either something else we can try that is less harmful than prednisone is to her, because prednisone will most certainly shorten her lifespan. But I would rather her have a shortened, very happy, very loving lifespan than die the way she could have without prednisone. So if the vet comes up with an idea or something that he can guarantee me will work without the harmful side effects of prednisone, then I'll try it. Until then, we'll just leave her on the prednisone and we will take life as it is. But I literally owe Matty my life more times than I would care to tell you about. And I have not completely learned how to deal without Tam in my life, but I'm getting there. And this is a step towards that. Ergo, the reboot part. The update part, you will see in a few minutes. Okay, so before we get on to the projects, I did neglect to mention one thing. I apologize. This is kind of jumping around here. This part 1 and part 2 here, they're out of sequence anyway, and they may become just one singular video. Depends on how long it runs, and I'll see at the end whether I divide it into part 1 and part 2. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to all of those of you who have stuck by me through this in the RC community, and specifically Lee from Bulgier RC Videos. He has been the best friend I have never yet met in person. We talk on the phone. You know, we've just never met in person, and now it's because of COVID that we've never met in person. But when we can travel freely, I stress freely. I'm not going to go into COVID anymore, lest YouTube decide to monitor what I am saying and deny my video the rights to be up. So I'm going to shut up on that point right now. But COVID has kept me from a U.S. trip. When I can, Matty and I are going to hop in Magic, our new Ford F-150 4x, and we're going to do some four-wheeling down in the U.S., but we're also going to make a point of catching up with Lee from Bulgier RC Videos, wherever he happens to be at the time. I would also like to catch up and meet Fern Solo and a couple other of you folks down there. You know who you are. We've emailed, we've talked, we've discussed projects. I still have your contact info, and don't be surprised if I show up in your neck of the woods, as it were, once we can freely travel. And yeah, so I just wanted to say I thank you, and I have no way to express how much I appreciate your support and your having my back over the last couple of years and putting up with me and sticking by me through all of this. It's appreciated far more than I can express with my meager vocabulary. And hopefully in the near future, y'all will get the chance to meet and greet Matty. She would love it. There is a new segment coming up that I'm planning on doing on this channel. It is called, or I'm thinking of calling it, Roaming with Matty. And we're going to do run videos, and we're just going to follow Matty around as she snoops and explores while we're out rock crawling and four-wheeling and just enjoying beautiful British Columbia. The other thing that I need to mention to you is that the Cabin Cruiser project will no longer be on this channel. It is moving over to my other channel, YYC On the Water, as are a couple of new projects. I have a Dauntless build underway, my version of a Dauntless. It's a scratch-built job. So it's my version of a Dauntless. It's 49 inches, so it's a foot over, or a foot. It's an inch over 4 feet, and it's my version of a Dauntless. And also, MV Kootenai will be moving over to YYC On the Water. YYC Designz RC Creationz will basically be land-based RCs. YYC On the Water will be watercraft and watercraft trailers. And yes, you will see land vehicles over there, but I won't be building them over there. They will just be there to haul the boats and tow them around and that sort of thing, and show off the trailers and so on. And it will be basically a watercraft channel.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire.